Didn't I say shut up? Bet that rooster will think twice before crowing tomorrow morning. Coffee's ready, guys. Let's start the show. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, TGIF. Can we say it anymore? Man, how's everybody this morning? I hope everybody's good. Let me put the chat up on screen. There it is. So, how is everybody this morning? Let's see who's come to hang out. And we have Sage. Sage getting her Friday morning all set and ready to rock and roll today. Hello, Miss Pinky. How are you? Oi, hey there, Heather. How's it going? Chaos, welcome in. Heather says, it is bad. I'm eating egg fried rice straight from the walk. No one is here. That's all right. Do whatever works. Do it good. Hello, Lion. Good to see you. How is everybody this morning? And hello and good morning to all the lurkers. Everybody pop in, say hello, and let us know how's the week been, guys. I hope everybody's had a good week. Here, holy crap, I'm telling you, Mother Nature is just being a, you know what, a biatch. Cool weather, melting weather. We're in a heat wave right at the moment again. And it's apparently supposed to be so hot today that they're just telling everybody don't go outside. Nice, huh? So I'm going to take their advice and stay inside today. It's not going to get things done that need to be done, but I don't need a heat stroke either. So doing my bit to save water. Oh, just awful weather. We're loving the sunshine. It's great, but you can't go outside and do anything. Okay, you finish up your checks and pop right back in. So yeah, they said don't go out if you don't have to. So we're not gonna go out if we don't have to. All seasons in one day. Exactly. And then it's gonna drop right back down to, well, they're saying we might hit 100 degrees today. I'm thinking, oh God. The humidity will probably be like 80 or 90. And you say thunderstorms and rain for last. Yeah, we've been having that too. Last night we had storms roll through. Possible storms today. So there's not much you can do out there. And it's wreaking havoc with my fibro, and I still get that headache on and off during the day, and it's been like over a week. And I know it's a spine thing because I can feel it in my spine first, and then I get the headache. So it's like, oh crap. So, shot. I'm shot. The saying, you're dead, but you just don't know, you don't know good enough to lay down. Well, that's pretty much how I've been feeling the last few days. And the next week it's going to be down in the 70s. So it's like, oh, geez. But, not going to complain. Because, it's better than that evil white stuff. So I guess we'll take it a day at a time. So did everybody have a good week? I hope so. No major catastrophes or, loss of limbs or anything. I hope not. Everybody just trying to survive. Good morning, Wayne. How are you? Hopefully the bad weather will be. Oh, I hope so. It's just, there's stuff I got to do, and we're still trying to finish up the yard, and I'm trying to put up a pool so I can use the pool, so I can, it helps with my pain and stuff. And all we have to do is level off a little bit of the yard to put it up. And it's just too damn hot. We can't get out there and do it. And I've been sneaking out at nighttime, when the sun starts setting to get certain things done. But last night it was wretched. So I said, no, I'm not even going to do that. I spent actually the most of the day in bed yesterday because I was miserable. And you just lay there saying, oh, please let it be over with. Thank God for ice packs. Ice packs and air conditioning. My poor air conditioner's working overtime. It's not even summer yet. And they keep saying it's going to be a really hot summer. So I think this is just a precursor to what we're going to have to expect and put up with. High temperatures, lots of humidity, and probably a lot of thunderstorms. Our weather pattern has changed so much over the last 20 years that, we never used to get tornadoes in our area. Now, every time a really bad thunderstorm is going to come through with high winds, we end up under tornado watches, which, it's kind of freaky because, growing up, we never had that here. We get them now. So that just tells you how everything's changed so much in just a short period of time. We just bought a new tower fan for the summer. Need it. Oh, I know. Well, like I said, we bought the air conditioner because of the dog when we got the dog. And the poor thing was just like, couldn't stand it because, we live on a second floor. So it's always hotter up here. And so we got it so that, the dog wasn't so uncomfortable. And now we're grateful we've got it because now it's, the weather's playing havoc on my health. So, as soon as it starts to heat up, we turn it on. And then we got fans in all the other rooms. So I'm a typical Brit, too hot to bring on winter. Oh, I know. Winter's just terrible here, though. Lion, it's terrible here. I mean, you guys hardly get anything as far as snow compared to us. We get buried. I mean, it's not inches, it's feet. And that could be just in one storm. So, yeah, I'm not wishing for that at all. This last season, we had one storm, 4 feet of snow and one storm. And it sucks. I had to go out there and shovel out a trail for the poor dog so she could go to the bathroom. And oh my God. I mean, the dog loved it, but not me. Thinking about buying a ceiling fan, but not sure I have the capacity to install it anymore. You can do it. If I could put one in, Wayne, you can put one in. Actually, we have a ceiling fan. I've got one here in the studio, but I actually don't use it. I have a box fan in the window and then a pedestal fan and then a small little desk fan. I got 3 here in the studio because when I close the door, it gets really hot. So I have all the fans going. And then, but we have a ceiling fan like in our bedroom. I've got one in the kitchen. And actually, those work great in the wintertime because when we have the heat going, we turn the fans on and it helps push the heat down so it warms the room up more. This kind of weather, my husband's miserable and he's bitching. I said, well, just look at it this way. You're not out there with the snowblower cleaning up snow. He's always cold anyway, though. That's the thing that kills me. It could be like, 80, it gets like 80, 90 degrees in our house if we don't have the air conditioning on. And if he lays down, he still puts the blanket on. I'm thinking, what are you nuts? You're nuts. I can't take enough off. They also might be just like a scary thing for the neighbors. Thank God nobody can see in. Hey, girly. I don't know if you got my message. Good morning, anyway, sweetie. You're lurking. I don't know if you got my message. Because you're saying that you wanted my address. Just send me a message, and on Facebook or an email, and I'll send you my address. How are you this morning? I hope you're well. Lurk away and enjoy. We've recently had our whole house insulated, so we don't know how warm it's going to be. Oh, it definitely will make an improvement. We did that to our house 2 years ago. I had it insulated because our house had nothing, pretty much nothing. Our house is old. It's over 100 years old. And back then, what did they use? Straw and hay or horsehair or whatever. They really didn't insulate anything back in those times. So our back hall, one of the walls, in the wintertime, if we had a really bad winter, we would get ice on the inside of the wall in the hallway. So before we had the house insulated, my husband had actually drilled a bunch of holes in that wall and put in spray foam insulation so that the ice formation would stop. And then 2 years ago, we ended up having somebody come and they insulated the whole house, and it definitely did make a difference. I'm good, just late for work because the truck was blocking my way, and that was 5 minutes I needed. Oh no. Hang your head out the window, start screaming. Move it or lose it, man. I got to go to work. 2 days ago, I had to put the heat on. It was that little 2 weeks of sunshine. Yay. It was summer, 1960. Yorkshire snowed so hard people had to climb out their bedroom windows to leave home. Yeah. See, now that's snow. Remember those days? You don't get that very often. Yes, changing the windows does make a big difference too. Yes. Yeah, we have all the old windows in our house, but we caulk all around them and do the best we can because I just really can't afford to have all new windows put in. And our windows are the big old windows. The ones where you usually have the ropes and the pulleys inside the window that have the window go up and down. That's the kind of windows we have. And they're the big windows. So it'll cost a fortune to have all those replaced. And then my father downstairs has a giant picture window in their living room that looks out the front. So that's a few thousand by itself. Us too sage. My mom would tell me Jack Frost had visited. Yes. We used to get some really damn good storms when we were younger. I mean, I've got photographs from it was the 70s when my sister was just a baby. And the mother had her all dressed up in her little red snowsuit. My father's walking behind her and she's walking down the sidewalk with him. And the snowbanks were over my father's head. So that was 6-foot snowbanks. And then the last few years, we hardly got anything. Yeah, maybe about a foot or so. That's nothing here in New York. But last year, that one storm, 4 feet of snow, just in that one day. So I guess Mother Nature's making it up for it. Sash windows, yeah. Good morning, Leanne. I love the rope and pulley window. Yeah, that's what we have here, Leanne. We got all the old windows. Actually, I just got on my husband telling him, I says, the one in the bedroom needs to be the wind around the glass. It all has to be recaulked because it's gone. And the window rattles. And I said, someday it's going to break and break and end on me because that's the way that works. Shit always happens to me. So I got to remind him he's got to recaulk that whole window. My mom has roll-out windows like this. I didn't know that's why they rolled out, like old-fashioned, and she had foam around her windows, and then there was vinyl film you could put on your windows. Yep. Yeah, people used to do all of that too. Yep. But because I like them because they're big windows, and they're I don't know. I won't have to change all of that. Growing up, we had to put up storm windows. Yes. And screens in the summer. Well, see, it's nice. The screens are there already, so we don't have to do that. And then we have the storm windows that are there as well for the winter on the outside. So that's one thing we didn't have to worry about is going out. Of course, on the second floor, I wouldn't be doing it anyway. But it's nice to have the older windows because they're bigger and more light gets in, and so my plants would love it because all that sunshine and stuff coming through the windows. The newer windows easier to clean because they're the ones where you can bring them in. What are they? I forget what they can say. They come in, you click them, and then you bring them inside, and then you clean them off, and then you put them back up. That's gorgeous. I'd love to have that option, but we have to get on a ladder, and guess what? That ain't happening. So the outside of my windows don't get cleaned very well. We get the hose out because I'm not going up there with a scrub brush. So the best cleaning they're going to get is with the hose. And then everybody goes, well, just, hang outside the window and clean them. I'm thinking, nah, I'm not doing that either. They're too damn old. My luck is I'll be, have my ass hanging out the window trying to scrub them, and then the whole window falls out. Find me laying in the driveway with a window frame around my waist. Yeah, we'll pass on that one. Actually, we have an issue right now. We've got the second half of our house, the top half, is these green shingles. And they're old shingles. And we've got two of them at the peak that are come loose. And, they're just nailed in. And I'm like, oh, shit. And it's right above where you walk up the front steps. And I'm thinking, how are we going to get up there to fix those so nobody gets knocked out? And that's what somebody, I hang out the window. I said, I'm not hanging out that attic window. No freaking way. And of course, my father goes, well, we can put a rope around our waist and tie it to the chimney. And I go, no, we're not doing that, Dad. And everybody I know that can fix it, they're afraid of heights. So they won't even go up there with a ladder to nail those shingles back in. So I'm going to have to hire one of those cherry pickers or the bucket things and have somebody go up there and nail in these two shingles. I'm thinking, seriously? So I told my husband, I'm not going to worry about it right now. So everybody's just, on their own. Hopefully the stupid things won't fall off till we can get to it. Unless someone like to clean our windows, can't reach our windows. Yeah, you need a double ladder to clean our windows on the second floor. And I'm like, no. It's not that important. You get that stuff that you attach to the hose, the cleaning stuff that you attach to the hose, and you just spray it. It does just as good. Now, when I was younger, I wouldn't have thought twice about it. I would have hung out the window with a brush. Hey, I'll get it. Won't do it now. I'm afraid of heights, but I'd still do it easy peasy. Well, see, my husband is definitely afraid of heights. He found that out the hard way. He was doing roofing, and his legs turned to jelly. They're like, yep, you can't do this job. So when I would paint the porch upstairs, I didn't use a ladder. I would just hang over the railing. And he'd be in the doorway yelling at me. What the hell are you doing? Painting. Holding on to the column. I said, I ain't going anywhere. If the column falls out, then I'm going to land on my head. But otherwise, I was good. Hammer him in. Use that glue. It sounds like wood glue. That's the hardest. Nails, glue, double glue. The shingles, I don't know. They might work. Because they're not wood shingles. I don't know what the hell they're made out of, to be honest with you. Probably asbestos. That's how old they are. Excuse me. And yeah, we probably, my God. And it's how they're held in with these little tack nails. That's what they used back in those days. And, through the years with the vibrations of the heavy trucks coming up and down our road these last couple of years, those ones at the top had probably vibrated loose and they're hanging there. I'm thinking, if they fall, they're going to break when they hit the ground. We do have some extra ones that are in the attic, but I'm going to have to figure it out. Most likely we're going to have to, probably have somebody hold on to me. I'm going to have to hang out the window and nail them in so that nobody gets hurt. And of course, those stupid things have been on the house probably since the day the house was built, but then we got more traffic now since they opened up the end of the street. Because at the end of our street, there used to be a gas station. Well, the gas station went out of business, and the state took over the property and opened it up, made it an intersection. So now we get all these big 18-wheelers and, heavy trucks that come up and down the road, and it vibrates everything, and all this stuff is working its way loose. Yes, Wayne is rich. He's living in the manor house. That's what happens when you're royalty. Right, Sir Wayne? Sir Wayne in the manor house. So we'll figure it out. It's just another thing to add to the list. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. My husband was saying, I don't know if he was bored. I know he said something. I go, well, I got a whole list of stuff you could do. Never mind. Yeah. That shuts him right up. Oh, your house is 3 stories high. Oh. Yeah, there you go. Get Crystal to wash the windows. Make it a game. Buy a gift card. Excuse me. Keep it at the front door, and then whoever gets hit with the shingle wins. There you go. You win. Yeah. Oh God. I hope it doesn't fall off. We'll have to take care of it pretty soon. My luck, it'll be the mailman that gets nailed with it. I'm stilts. Yes. How are the kitties this morning? Oh, good. They're doing well. Ours is an L-shaped ranch house, and it has extended eaves, so it shades the sun. It helps from getting too hot in the house. Yeah, that's nice. It's the beauty of it here. Like my house, it's two family house, so we get the sun in the morning. It's out front. So if you want to do anything quick, you go out. Do it early in the morning because it's all shaded. And then, of course, then everything switches over. Good morning, Vicky. How are you? It's good to see you. And then in the afternoon, forget it. You don't go in the backyard until the sun starts to set. Yeah, good to see Vicky. How's Vicky doing? All I know is that, after my father passes, that's when I put the house up for sale because I don't want to. This house is way too much maintenance. And then, I don't want to be a landlord and rent out the bottom flat to people I don't know. So it's just, and then there's a few guys around here that want my house because they want to turn it into college housing for the college that's not too far from us. 4 months. Oh my goodness. What a blessing. Thank you, Vicky. 4 months. Listen to me, Gab. We're not going to give you a thank you for that. Thank you so much for hanging out for 4 months. It goes so quickly. It does. So it amazes me when this stuff pops up. And hopefully everybody's enjoying the magazine this month. It was fun. As usual, it's always fun to put it together. I just started working on the one for July. So, guys, have any stories or anything you'd like to share, send it to me. I'll put it in. Mine's like an Amsterdam house, long and thin. Laura, go through a rental agent and rent your house yourself. Yeah, Leanne, I just don't want to. I don't want to be bothered with all of that stuff. And then the maintenance, and then because if we get another house and it's maintenance on 2 homes. And good morning, TARDIS. How are you? I just figure sell it, because I know there's people that want it. And what they'll do is they'll come in here and they'll strip it and then make more rooms. And it's a shame because we have, like the original cupboards. I have the big, huge kitchen cupboards. And I have the wood columns that divide the living room and the dining room, which is a nice old, accent. And they'll rip all that stuff out. I know they will. But I want to get something small and it's all on one level. So it's easier for me to take care of. And I can do my laundry without having to throw bags of laundry down the stairs so I can get into the basement. It's too much. I don't know, Laura. I found a container pushed to the back of the fridge last night, and I think something dark and paranormal is growing in it. Oh, no. Splash it with some holy water. You're watching Caddyshack. I love Caddyshack. Great movie. If I was younger, then I would think, yeah, rent this out and then, have, a separate home. But it's, I just don't want to deal with it. I'm not up to it. And the older I get, the worse this fibro thing gets and all my other problems get. And who knows? I mean, eventually I just get this feeling I'm going to end up in a wheelchair. And so then who wants to deal? I just don't want to deal with that crap. I just want to take care of myself the best I can. Yesterday I missed a lot of stuff because it was awful. It was just awful. I was stuck in bed and it was yeah. So today I'm just going to take it easy. I already told my husband, I said, I ain't cooking shit. You're on your own. You had a choice. Fresh pineapple, ice cubes. There you go. Make yourself something because I'm not doing it today. Was it last night? I forgot what the hell. Oh, I made my father and my husband cheeseburgers. I said, there. And he goes, well, we have them with it. I go, salad. That's it. You don't like this kitchen? Go eat somewhere else. I said, because you're lucky I'm even doing it. Because I was miserable. And when you're miserable, you don't feel good. That's the last thing I want to do is cook food. So I fed them and got them out of my hair. And then I went back and laid down. If they're going to demo and take that stuff out, you can make a deal with them and say, look, we'll pay for the inspection if you give us the columns and the cupboards. Yeah, well, because everybody goes, why don't you change out your cupboards? I go, no. Look at the modern cupboards. Look how small they are. My son has that in his house, the more modern cupboards, and half of the appliances and pans and stuff they have don't even fit in the cupboards. Mine, you could stuff a body in them, for God's sakes. So I won't change those. Because my husband goes, oh, rip these out. I said, oh, no, you won't. You leave them right on the wall where they are. Because everything I have fits right in them perfectly. And yeah, the columns, when we first bought the house, my father goes, well, we could take those out. I go, no, you're not. I said, I love the charm that it gives the apartment. It looks nice. And I want to, and especially at Christmas time, I'll wrap garland and lights and stuff around the columns and lights up the 2 rooms. And you guys have probably seen the pictures. It just, I just gives it an old charm, and I like it. So. Actually, what we, and also, I don't know what we're going to do. We have an old wood stove, cook stove that's down in the basement. It's covered up. We inherited that with the house because the guy didn't want to move it because, I mean, this thing weighs a ton. I don't even know how they got it in there, to be honest with you. I always wanted to use that too, but my father wouldn't let me hook it up because he was worried about fire issues. So I'm going to have to find an antique dealer somewhere when I do sell the house and sell that stove to them. It needs a little TLC because it's been covered up for 30 years with a canvas tarp. So it needs to be cleaned up, but it's just the cutest thing. And it's got all the parts and everything. And I think maybe the lady might have made bread and stuff on it before, ones that used to live here. And they might even have heated the house with it. Who the hell knows? But I have no idea how we're going to get it. We're probably going to have to remove the steps because we have an outdoor entrance to the basement. And I think they're going to have to remove the steps and pull it out with a hoist. Because I have no idea how they got it in there. Old cabinets are built much better too. I would keep them as, oh yeah, I told because my husband, we'll rip them out. No, well, you're not touching those. I mean, I changed out the hardware, but there's just no way that I would ever remove those. Real wood covers / longer, and some of those window antique dealers would buy them. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they would. My cupboards are too small for bodies under the floorboards and more space. Oh my God. We could do that too. I have all hardwood floors. The problem is, boy, they really nailed them down because, especially in the attic, when we were doing some wiring stuff, we had to remove some of the floorboards. And you couldn't get those suckers up. My husband's like, man, what did they use to put these down with? The house was well built. That is for sure. But definitely, yeah, and if we ever got anything, when we do get something again, I'm going to have to see what I can find where the cupboards, I mean, small cupboards suck. Take that wood stove with you. I'm telling you right now, because when all things goes to hell, you're going to want that wood stove. I know, I probably should. And it is the cutest. It's a small one. Oh God, I don't even have photographs of it because, like I said, it's been covered up the whole time we've owned this house, and my father's got boxes of, hardware and stuff piled on top of it. If I didn't have all that stuff piled on top of it, I'd take a photo and show you guys. It's just the cutest thing. I think it's got four burner section on the top. It's got the little oven. I think it's a double oven on the bottom, if I remember correctly. And I always wanted to use it. And he's like, no, we can't trust the chimney. I worry about fire. The fire insurance will go up. And okay, fine. Always got to burst my bubble. Yeah, we have a wood cook stove right here next to the wood stove. I know Sage has got it made. So yeah, it's the cutest thing because because the guy goes, well, do you mind if I leave this here? We're like, no, go ahead. And then when I went down and looked at it, I go, oh my God, I want this so bad up at the house. But it would be on the second floor. My father didn't think that the floors would hold it, but they would. Because we've seen what they built this house out of. We could park a truck in our kitchen and it wouldn't be a problem. So Good morning, Miss Betty. Good morning. Good morning. The parts of your house are worth a mint. Yeah, Leanne, you're right. I don't think of it that way because you don't find this kind of stuff anymore unless it's an old house. And like I said, if when we do sell it, and when they do, because I know that's what they're going to do, they're going to gut it to make more rooms, because they get around here when college kids rent houses, they're renting the room and the use of the rest of the house. They're getting at least $600 from each student. So if you have 4 or 5 bedrooms, you do the math. That times $600 or more a month. And then they also pay, for their own cable and internet. So they'll make a fortune. They'll make a fortune off of it. So if I sell the house, it's estimated for almost $300,000. Where they get that number, I don't know, but they would be able to pay that off in a year, probably a year or two, because you figure, up and down. So you end up with 10 to 12 students in one house. That's a lot of money you're bringing in per month. Let's see, growing up at my aunt's house, huge wood cook stove in the kitchen, and she used it. And my mother used to have a walk-in pantry. Flower and such. It was a cool house and hot. Oh, that must have been a great house. I wish I had a pantry. If gas prices and utility costs, so what stove, if you have set up right, you could actually use it to heat that. Oh, that's what I would have done. But yeah, we couldn't. My mother wouldn't let us hook it up. But yeah, most likely when we get a new place, then I'll have to bring it with me. The thing is moving it. That's the hard part. Because it would be so perfect in a kitchen. Just the greatest thing. Do you like the wood heat, Sage? Of course, I know you're always saying that you're hotter than the blazes at your house. See, that my husband would love it because he'd be in heaven because it would be so warm. Of course, I would make sure that everything was professionally installed because that makes me nervous. We actually know somebody that had wood stove in their house, and they were sleeping and it caught on fire, and they lost half the house. It was terrible. We joke it heats you several times. Cutting, hauling, stacking, burning. Yeah, exactly. See, we already have wood and stuff stacked in the yard for the fire pit. So what's a little bit more, for the wood stove, right? Yes, we grew up wood heat. You have to maintain the stove and the chimney. Yeah, it was a freak thing. I don't know what the hell happened. Thank God that they woke up. It overheated. Something overheated, and it caught the wall on fire. So yeah, they lost that one section of the house. Had to have it rebuilt. My gran had a long stove. She lived in the Highlands in Scotland. That must have been amazing. Well, people are realizing that things built before the 1950s were built to last. That's why the people that have money are looking for that stuff. So those of us who don't have money need it. Yeah, that's what it is. It was just built better. It really was. Just an example. I was looking the other day for an outside container to put the patio furniture cushions in so they don't get wet. and I just, store them outside. So I have to keep hauling them in and out of the house because it's a pain in the ass. And I'm looking online. I'm thinking, look at this. They want $100 something for this plastic box that you put together. It was so flimsy looking, just to store outside cushions and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, no way. I told my husband, I said, we got a bunch of lumber that's laying around, but we'll build our own. And I'll put a plastic bag in it or something. I was paying almost $150 for a stupid plastic box. Oh my God. Parts of my house has no air conditioner. It was built on. Yeah, we don't have central air here. We just in a window air conditioner. Blue fire probably sage. That's probably what it was. And thank God, like his son woke up and got his father up. And then when they went to check the stove, everything was the stove was glowing red. The wall was on fire. Jesus. I mean, thank God they put it out. And then of course they had the fire department come out. But how fast? How does time move so fast? 1 second, 8 a.m. The next is 9:30. Sorry, I'm late, Laura. Oh, no, you're not late. Never late. Good morning to you, Cree. And I will check your message after the fact. I had just started the live and you sent me the message, so I'll check it. We don't have air conditioning, but when it gets really hot, I dampen a towel and drape it over my shoulders. It works wonderfully. You know what I used to do when we didn't have air conditioning and it was unbearable? And we just had like a pedestal fan and I had a hope chest at the foot of the bed. I would get a giant stainless steel bowl and I'd fill it with ice. And then, of course, as the ice is melting, the fan was blowing the cool air on us while we were sleeping. That worked fantastic. Definitely works. You got to remember all those tricks from the old days. They work. Of course, the one I've never tried is they used to say, put your underwear in the freezer. And then put them on. Ooh, cold coolie. But how long can that last, right? You're better off just putting an ice pack in your shorts. Lasts longer. And that's how I felt, yesterday. I'm thinking, a block of ice to sit on. So yeah, I didn't do anything yesterday. I can't live without my air conditioning. Nope. Not going to happen. I put mine up June 1st and I'll stay up until the snow starts and falls again. And I'm forced to put it away for another year. Yeah, that's what we pretty much do. Put it in until we don't need it anymore. And then remove it. Well, it's early at Leanne's house. Actually, were your ears burning, Leanne? Because we were talking about you last night, my husband and I. We were talking about the wildlife that you guys have in your area. I said, I don't know. I never thought about it. I said, I'll have to ask her. I can't live without, let's see. I used to put my sneakers in, in the washing machine. We do. Oh, and get them wet and then wear them, or just. I just have several ice packs when I'm really miserable. Like yesterday, and I have a feeling today because I'm already pins and needles all over my skin right now, and my feet are on fire. I'll be laying down with the ice pack, and I usually put it at the base of my skull, and it just cools me right down and makes me feel a little bit better. I put a wet towel in the freezer. I had a hard time trying to unfold them, and then they were too cold to use. You just put them on you, and it melts it, and then it'll soften them up. In the winter, I have my window open, and my fan goes 24/7. Can't breathe without it. My son is that way. Always has the window open and a fan in it. And my husband would bitch in the winter, where the hell's that cold breeze coming from? And it was coming from, this room from under the door. The wildlife we have is us humans right now. excuse me. Well, we weren't sure exactly what kind of bear activity or something that they have where Leanne is, or I forgot. We were talking about other animals. And I said, I don't know. I says, I know. Oh, he wanted to know, like, if you just had deer, or what kind of deer you had out there, and if you had elk out there. Okay, there we go. She's got a list: deer, turkeys. I have to tell them: raccoons, possums, skunks, mountain lions. Some areas have elk and bears. Okay, yeah, we were. He wasn't sure if you guys had elk, and I said, oh. I said, next time I talk to her, I'll ask. Hey, what kind of bears, Leanne? Is it just a brown and black bear, or just one of the other? Or you don't have grizzlies out your way, do you? I don't know. I keep a wet washcloth next to the bed, and I will wipe down my arms and neck if it gets too hot. I put my head under cold as F water. Yeah. Well, sometimes I do that, like with my hands and stuff, and they hurt really bad. I'll just turn the cold water on and run them under the cold water for a while. And that's nice. It helps, so I can use my fingers. I've done that for years. And it definitely feels better. But I always have a few ice packs in the freezer to take care of the misery. The ice pack is the best friend. Panda bears, koala bear. Yeah, I don't see that where Leanne is. Honestly, she hates the heat. I don't mind it if I can find a way to be comfortable. So I'm saying, like, when we had to go out of the pool the last few years, that was bad for me, because that was my therapy, and I would get in the cold water, and it was nice because the whole body was, being taken care of. And then when we had to take it down, oh my God, always in the shower, or, running your hands under hot water or cold water, anything to help. But it wasn't the same as, the pool. And then I used to do, do laps and stuff, float. So now that we have the new pool, thank God, to a lovely angel, now I just got to level out one section of the yard so that we can install it and get it up. And we were going to do it this week, but this weather's not cooperating, because we also don't want heat stroke. So it's supposed to drop down into the 70s the next couple of days. That's when I told my husband we could get out there, get it done, because it only takes 45 minutes to put the thing up, and then start filling it up. And then I was looking online, the ladder that came with it. The ladder is a little sketchy, so until I could build a deck, my son is checking online through like Facebook Marketplace and stuff, to see, just to get a little bit of a better ladder to get in and out, so his mother doesn't bust her ass. Either I'll just jump out the window at this point. I don't care. Brown or black bears might be grizzlies up in the mountains. Oh, okay, I'll let them know. There's a cougar living east of me. Excuse me, called Sage. Oh no. They say we have bears and moose all over Canada, but I have yet to see either. And we live right next to the forest. Seriously? Oh my God, Cree. You think you'd see them all over, especially the moose. Apparently, they all come down here to the Adirondacks and hang out here. Good morning, Pomp. How are you? We've had so many moose sightings up here on the mountain, and I missed every one, and I've been pissed because I want to see it so bad. But we haven't been able to go up there. So, yeah, tons of moose up there. So that's what they migrated. Do you have any biofreeze or any peppermint extract? Because peppermint is you could put drops in whatever, and you'll have nerve pain. It'll make the blood surface pain go away. Really? Oh. I'll have to look into that. I like peppermint. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, like right now, I got pins and needles all over. And yeah, the feet are on fire. It's starting because it's starting to warm up. Cree moose tend to like marshy areas and river bottoms. Betty says biofreeze is wonderful. Ooh, definitely gonna have to check into that. I'm at this point, if I'm not allergic to it, I'll try it. Oh, you use a 2-stage? Yeah, I'll have to check into that. I'm trying to write it down. My hand doesn't want to work. Hurts. I'll have to look into that. Yesterday was 92. Today is 94. Yeah, we're supposed to get hit with that here, Betty. My husband told me last night, he goes, we're not doing nothing. I go, you're right. I'm not going to do anything because it's not going to be a good one today. I hope it'll change, though, because that's the thing. They always say one thing and then it changes so quick. Here, with the part of New York that we live in, it could be a snowstorm in the morning and then it could be, 100 degrees by the afternoon. Our weather is so freaky, but we're used to it. I'm in the valley and there's a cougar that lives in my area. We caught it on a game camera. Oh. Gotta watch out. Watch your turkeys, Leanne. He's not looking for a turkey dinner. Hey, Roger. How's it doing? Let's see. Question. Can anyone else get into Facebook right now? I keep trying to log in and it won't accept my login. It was fine this morning. I was on it this morning quick. I could check it really quick for you. Hey, Julie, how are you today? Which is a stupid question. She's probably feeling the same way I am. Shitty. But I hope not. I hope you're doing all right. Let's check for Roger. See if well, it's not loading there. Maybe it's got to be a Facebook problem. And see, I could access it on my phone, but it won't load up on the computer. So I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I was on it this morning, but I was on my phone, and I just tried to log in on the computer, and I just was getting a blank page. Our old neighbors got pictures on their trail cam of a cougar packing off with their old kid. Oh, poor kitty. Roger, Facebook just doesn't like you. Oh my goodness. Oh, my life is insane right now. Oh, Julie. Hopefully it gets better. All right, yeah, it's got to be a Facebook thing because Leanne just checked hers too, and it's not loading. But it's strange because I'm getting it on my phone. It's working on the phone. And I just got a message from my sister. She said Facebook messages aren't working. Weird. Because I sent her something funny this morning. Yeah, no, not just you. Because like I said, I just got a message from my sister. It's not working. So something's wonky. Excuse me. Good Lord, Laura. Pain is always severe and other things going on. That's why I haven't been around. Oh, sorry to hear that, Julie. Yeah, and if you're getting the same weather we are, then it's making it worse. Yeah, it's working on my phone, but not on the computer. So say it's Sage. The big cat hasn't never bothered us. Well, thank God, because he'd have a field day chasing all of Leanne's turkeys and stuff around. Send some love to Julie. She needs it. Don't hug too tight because it'll hurt. My shoulder's been hurting, so I'll have to get more Biofreeze. I have to look into that. Hey, Ace, nice to see you. How are you doing? Victoria said hi. I figured that's where she went. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time. She said she was taking a mini vacation. I'm thinking, excuse me. I hope you guys are having fun. Biofreeze works well, but it only lasts me about 30 to 45 minutes. But it's better than not at all. Ah. Yeah, tell her she wasn't being sneaky, Ace. I knew where she was going. I hope you guys are having a good time. Well, yeah, I agree. Anything's better than nothing. I'll have to check into it. I never thought of trying to use that. Excuse me. And what did I miss here? She said, I asked because I honestly can't figure them out. I know they are friends with the boys, but they don't get crazy when it at a location. I honestly can't figure them out. And usually that's unusual for me. They did a cemetery walk live. It was cool. Who did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? Oh, here we go. She said she was watch the City Boys. Is that what it is? Two black men that used to do a mixture of things, but they started doing paranormal stuff 6 months ago. And it's all they do now. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, try putting a dot of peppermint extract on each ear. I think that's what she meant. Each ear, satellite points whenever your pain usually originates from, especially if that burning pain is a nervous pain. Or yeah. Well, I know when it's going to start to rain because it starts in my arms. When my arms start burning and my hands are like, yep, here comes the storm is coming. And then a lot of times it's at the base of the skull. It'll start there and then just radiate downwards. All them hugs squeezed the life out of me. I'm really good at reading people, but I just can't read these guys. I have to check them out. What is there? What is it again? Did you say city? What did you call them? Type it again, Cree. Oh my god, brain dead, brain dead. My mini vacation is walking to the garden from my living room. Yeah, I know. I haven't had a vacation in a long time. I'm hoping to be able to afford to go on a mini vacation at some point this summer. We'll see. Baby, me and Julie need to take Allie at here downstairs. Hey everyone, if you click, oh yeah, click the like button, please, please. Tylenol cooling with iodine works better than Biofreeze for me. I've been living on Tylenol. It helps like take the edge off a little bit, but I ain't gonna have no. What's it doing to the rest of my liver, my kidneys? So I was telling my husband last night because I've had this headache, and I know it's spine related, and I'm like, it's just not going away. I haven't eaten so much Tylenol all my life. I get it, Laura. For me, it's my right hip, my leg. They burn so bad when it's going to rain. Oh, it's horrible. That's how you know you're old. It's City Boy. Okay, Yeah, I'm gonna write that down. I'll have to look, check them out. I have so many notes over here. It's freaking hilarious. City Boys. Got it. I just tried to see how I could my account back. If I couldn't log in and the paying crashed too. Oh well, as I'm here, I'll stick around. Oh well, gee, thanks, Roger. Yeah, who knows? There's always an issue. You got yours from Costco. I wish I knew about it the other day because I was at the drugstore picking up my prescription. I found a good channel. It's a UCE gang. Uh, there's Samoan ghost hunters in New Zealand and Auckland. Oh, interesting. Did Mark sneak in here? If he did, good morning, Mark. How are you? Great show with Friday. Enjoyed that. You guys did a good job. They do the Estes a lot. I'll say that much, as well as the MunPod, but they don't use the DR60 and a bunch of other equipment. But I just don't know if they've learned from the boys and used that. Ah, yeah. Now you got me curious. I'm gonna have to check it out and see who they are, see what they're up to, see if they're full of BS or if they're actually, doing something. I have to write that down too. UCE gang. UCE gang. Gotta check out the new stuff. Yeah, dipping in and out whilst I have some free time to do a tidy up. Oh, well, I'm glad you popped in. But yeah, we enjoyed the show. Good show with Friday. Friday's awesome. Oh, thanks for posting that, Leanne. Ace, I'm supposed to set up, which I need to do, get my ass moving. Coffee's around for everybody. Ace is surfing up with the coffee. Another show with Friday and Kenny, and also Mr. Prism wants to join in again, working with EVPs, infrasound, sound waves. I mean, these are sound guys, and so it's, even though you always get people saying no, that there would be no way that you could get a connection using this stuff. I've just got this feeling that there's a way that if we could figure out the sound waves or the right frequencies, there's a way to get a better communication. I mean, we've all had who have been out and done stuff, have gotten EVPs, but they're just, the majority of them are very, very faint, never really clear. So I want to be able to see if we can find a way to clear it up, change the frequencies or change the waves that we're using now. These changes need to be done. That's why I can't wait to see what Wes and Lisa put out from APRF. That's going to be coming up soon. They're working on it. They tried a bunch of different things, and I'm dying to see what they did and what the results were. When I mentioned them once, someone said that they were a parody, but I don't agree. I just don't know if they just don't know what they're doing or not. Yeah, they could be it could be they just don't know what they're doing. Yeah, DR60 and Spirit Box is a no-no for me. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. We need to figure out. We've been doing the same thing for forever. It's just, and everybody's doing the same things. And it's not that I'm knocking equipment. Keep the experiment going, which is important because you might find out something new if you change it up. We got to change it up. Even if you take existing equipment and you do your own modifications to it. I've known people that have done that and it's worked well for them. So they've gotten more clear EVPs and stuff like that. So we got to tweak what we've got going on. And Friday is working on new stuff to make equipment better. So I think we're all just starting to step in the right direction, which is awesome. APR are brilliant. The work I do is incredible. If anyone deserves to find your truth behind it, yeah, they are. And I'm waiting for them to come out with their premiere, what they're working on before I have them back on the show, because I know they're not going to want to talk about any of it before they put it out. So I'm going to make arrangements to have them back on. If you think about it, many scientific discoveries came about by changing the strength of existing equipment. That's how we got vaccines, discovered the earth rotates, etc. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. You're putting, I know a lot of people say, well, how do you put in the science? How do you do this? You don't have to be a genius to figure it out. Yes, we need to tweak the equipment, but we have to take more of a scientific approach, I think, is more what everybody's trying to put across. Be more scientific about your investigations. A lot of that's not shown on YouTube because it's a long process. But there's no guidebook, and there really is. Who can make up the guidebook? No rules. So you've got to fly by the seat of your pants and do what you think is scientifically sound. So meaning, use measuring devices, use stuff like that. And I think that's what people are doing. They're just starting to change the way we think about it and the way we use the gadgets that are out there. And if you have the ability, like Friday House does, to change it, to make it work for the better, awesome. Yeah, and then Lion, I agree. Eyes, ears, camera, common sense. The problem is a lot of people don't have common sense. They don't. And again, another battle with belief and doing investigating. Yes, we all have our beliefs. Hey, Ace, thanks for popping in. Say hello to Susan for us. You guys have a good time. I look at it this way. When I go in to do what I'm doing, I put the beliefs to the back burner because you're already contaminating the outcome if you're going in there with a certain mindset. So nobody's saying abandon what you believe, but if you're going to be more scientific about it, you've got to put the belief system on hold until you're done. And then your beliefs can fall into place when you're reviewing your data. You're in big trouble if you don't wear pants. I don't wear pants, Liam. Not unless I have to. I agree to a point, Laura. The problem is without being spelled out. Yeah, that's what it is. Some people do need it to be spelled out, but common sense are telling you, okay, I should bring a level. I should bring a tri meter. I should bring this. You test everything that can be tested and documented. That's, I think, where they're meaning being scientific. So you're testing, the atmosphere, the weather, the wind, dew points, all of these factors that could fall into place. This is, I think, where they're going towards as scientific. And yes, common sense. Very important. You hear a bang, it's not always something spiritual knocking on the door. It could be a raccoon running through and it hit the wall. You just don't know. That's why you've got to use the common sense. Look at what happened to Remix. He was honestly trying. He said, yes, he made mistakes, but instead of giving him credit for trying, people were on him. That's because that's YouTube. That's going to happen. So you really can't get upset about that because everybody's being judged. being judged by what you say, what you do, what you show. Most of the time, we can have a good discussion and debate about what people have collected. Other times, you can't because people are closed minded. They're only going to believe in one way. And you can't be that way. You just can't. Not if you're in this field. You just can't. You've got to leave that door open for what if. I liked the idea of Morse code and asking, what's your favorite cookie year? What's your favorite ghost movie? Actually, it's interesting. Morse code. Who knows? That's something to think about. But some people don't think of those tools. How many teams have you seen bring the level with them? Seg went to a bunch of investigations and near took one. Oh, never took one. And Beardo used one, but did it wrong. See, that's what it is. And exactly. I mean, that's why Friday says too. You use equipment, you need to know how to use it properly. So that's part of the game. You bring in that stuff, you need to know, which I find it hard. Apparently, Beardo doesn't build many things if he doesn't know how to use a level. But let's see who runs and hide. We're not going to run and hide. Sage, yay, she's back. Very important to learn how to use the equipment, know the details of the equipment. And, and each piece has a specific use. Check the wind. All this stuff is because how many times say, oh, something closed the door. Well, how windy or drafty is the house? Is it a common occurrence? My house, if I leave, I've had the front porch door open and other windows and stuff. My kitchen door will slam on its own. It's what happens. It's just wind. These are things that people need to look into. I get that YouTube, but I'm talking about people demanding science, which I keep saying isn't ready to find spirit, yet we don't even know what makes one up. They're going on the assumption that it's energy, Cree. I think we all go on that assumption that when we cross over, it's pure energy. So that is the guideline that they're using until we could figure out something else. The Shapes Being in Construction has used his knowledge on that too. Debunk claims. I always find that interesting. Yeah. Money hiding. Don't trust Beardo with the spirit level. And he goes out on a lot of investigations, but he's not saying if he's using this stuff all the time. Maybe he is. He's just not showing it. I think that, and I get it. They don't show it because it's not going to bring in views. The bottom line, guys, if you're on Facebook, or not Facebook, good Lord, I'm still thinking about the Facebook problem. If you're on YouTube, you're here. It's entertainment. No matter what channel you are, you're here to entertain and educate to the best of your ability. Most of people don't get a lot of subscribers and big channels when they go more into the boring stuff. They don't want to watch the boring stuff. So that's why the entertainment channels do so well. They're not showing any of this extra equipment. They're just showing the baseline equipment and how, oh my God, it went off. It went off. Well, why did it go off? They're just letting you think that, oh, the spirits did it. When it could have been the guy's cell phone or, somebody using a walkie somewhere. It's a lot of people aren't showing behind the scenes because it's boring. I know that. I get that, but we know not everyone believes they are energy. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So what is spirit? Well, that's what we're trying to find out. So that's why I always tell everybody, even though you might not, because I'm not an advocate of all the gadgets either. I can't afford to buy the gadgets. I think the prices are ridiculous. But if you have them, use them. You just don't know. Use them in different ways, do different situations, change it up. That's why I think it's great that Friday's working on modifying. I think the REM pod is what he said. So we'll see what that turns into. Um, there are new things on the horizon. I don't know what Lisa and Wes have been using, so we're gonna have to look forward to that too. Joe might or might not use science, but if he does, he doesn't show it. But he is one of the best at looking into history. Yeah, locations debunking. Yes, he does. He does create. He does use things behind the scenes, and he doesn't show them. He thinks his stuff's boring as it is. Could you imagine if he showed all in detail? And I don't think his stuff is boring. I find it very interesting, but that's the way I'm looking at it. That's the stuff I'm looking for. Other people on YouTube aren't. They're looking for the screams and the runs and all of the, the hoopla. Hey, Purple Ronnie, how are you? Let's see. I missed. What did Mark say? That's what's so hard. I want to be all serious, but then the views drop. Exactly, the views drop. In the spirit box, I'm not sure how much I trust them, but people seem to be all over them when they are used. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you never know. You just never know. You got to keep doing it. Even though you're going to get, your ass ripped. Oh, that stuff's garbage and you're using it. There might be just that one time something is going to come through. Like, Mark, I'm here to talk to you. I mean, okay, you don't know if that's ever going to happen. It might. I think everyone looks at the paranormal in their own way. It's why they investigate how they do. It's why I say, if you don't like it, don't watch. Exactly. I think the TV shows and their producers are to blame. They may have done legit investigations, but they're told by producers to jazz it up. So, well, they have to follow a script. It's scripted. Otherwise, they don't get ratings. The show crashes and burns. They lose money. The bottom line is money for them. So if it's on TV, it's scripted, guys. That's just the bottom line. And that has moved over into the YouTube realm where you've got your entertainer channels. That's what I call them. They script the stuff out because that's why they've got what they've got. I mean, they've got, million subscribers. They have sponsors. And the young group, they have the younger groups, and the younger groups get sucked in like we all did when we were younger. We used to watch, Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures and you're thinking, oh, wow, until we find out what the real deal is. Because we're thinking with a logical mind where the younger group is saying, oh, no, that's real. It's hard. It's hard. And I'm not saying not watch them because I watch some of them too because they're funny. Do I believe what they're doing? No, but but I watch them. I still think Midwest Ghost Hunter is superior. Yes, because he's funny. So that's why you watch it. I find what Joe does really interesting. I hate it when people say it's boring. If you show people things they can be doing, might change their way. See, that's what it is, though. People do find it boring. And I mean, I know Joe, I don't know. Everybody says, well, I don't give a shit about my channel, but actually you do. Because the support that you guys give helps support to do what we do. Otherwise, you got to pay out of pocket. It takes longer to get. See, he goes to locations. I can't afford to do that. Pay for a location and go. I can't do that. I just don't make that kind of money. But I do, all the programs that I run and apps that I need to use just to do an interview show is a lot. And I couldn't do that without you guys' support. So you guys are all very important to us, each and every one of you. As far as equipment goes, sure, if I had the opportunity to get my hands on some of that equipment, I would use it. Why not? Just to see what happens. Dowsing rods. I find those amazing. I'm amazed by the lure and the history of dowsing rods. I'd like to get a pair of those just to screw around with. Whether they work or not, I don't know. But you have a little fun. I'm forced sometimes to watch some really bad paranormal channels. There are some I just can't do it. Yeah, me too. There's a couple I just can't do it. And then when you get like the debunkers or, so like with SAG or what he does, and he's watching something. I says, how does your head not explode? I really want to know, because it's a lot of hours of crap. Let's see. I enjoy seeing him Colby for the entertainment, and they go all the way to the top. Yeah, it's entertaining. Midwest has said, if you're entertained, I'm happy, which is the closest he has come to admit that he's for entertainment. Yeah, see that? There you go. It's, you watch who you like. Don't bring it up in other shows where these people don't watch these people, or they do watch them, but they critique everything they do because they're trying to call them out there. Most of the people that watch this stuff already know they're entertainment, and they don't take it seriously. It's the younger people that I hardly hit any young people that watch what I do, because it's an and I've had one say, oh, there's nothing paranormal about your channel. I'm an interviewer. I don't have up there, raw side paranormal investigations. I don't. Then okay, bitch. I'm a podcaster. I interview other paranormal people. And my history, I have a lot of paranormal history, but I don't put it on here because a lot of it's boring to everybody else. If I have something that comes up, then I'll put it up in a short or a quick clip. But as far you guys don't want to watch me walking around, muddy old cemetery for hours. You don't want to see that kind of stuff. Some might, I don't know. And I've thought about that. The next time I go out, just do a live walk around and talk about the history of some of the people buried there. But the majority of people don't want to see that stuff. They want to see me running through the cemetery, falling down and busting my ass. That they'd enjoy. I'm not going to do that. Good morning, Jimmy. How are you this morning, Jimmy? The problem is you have is that debunkers watch so much crap. It's jaded them, and they tend to be broadbush and good ones as a result. And that could hurt those really trying. I think you could be right about that, because I have made that mention to some debunkers, and I says, you think that you get to the point where you're debunking yourself out of true, real evidence? And they said, oh, no, we're not doing that. And I think it could be possible that they're actually talking themselves out of what could actually be something legit. Also, because they're jaded, they tend to compare everyone they've watched as if they were the twins, Omar or Yaska. Now, I used to watch Omar because I thought Omar was funny. Now he's boring because he does that casino garbage. I don't want to watch that. I would think it's funny when he goes out and he screws around at a location, or when he was doing the farm thing and you're seeing his farm. That's great. I like to look at the animals and all that. It was funny and it was entertaining. I never believed anything that Omar or Yasko. Oh my God, Yasko. God, I find he grates on my nerves. You shouldn't get knocked for who you watch or don't watch. It's getting as bad as it's terrible. It's terrible. People take sides. That's definite. Just watch it. Everybody else don't like it, then they'll mention it. Just just watch what you want to watch. I mean, my God. We're talking about doing scientific investigations and watching the entertainment channels, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy, who do you watch and you don't tell anybody? It can't be serious all the time. Yeah. I watch a lot of Mo Sargi. I watch him. Do you believe any of the stuff he does? No. But he keeps it entertaining. And that's why I watch it, because it's entertaining. So that's why he's got what he's got. I get that thrown at me a lot of times. Gee, I'm really surprised you don't have more subscribers. I go, well, I would love to have more subscribers. I would love the channel to grow, but I said a lot of the stuff I do doesn't interest the younger crowd. They consider it most likely boring. I've never had anybody tell me that, but it probably is. You know, who wants to sit here and listen to me run my mouth? You know, well, hunting without pants. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have shorts on, no pants. Can't stand pants. Exploring with Josh. Oh, I love it. I love exploring with Josh. Actually, I would love to have him on the show to interview him, but you know how that is. Trying to get a hold of somebody like that, not going to happen. I don't take sides unless I know for a fact the person is wrong. I have defended paranormal teams and debunkers and even people in chat if I see them getting attacked. Well, yeah, we do the same, Cree. What's right is right. If you know for a fact that somebody is innocent with something, then yeah, you should stand up. And a lot of people are going to take offense. I mean, I've lost a few subscribers just because of some of the choices that I've made. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to do what I believe is correct for everybody involved until I'm proven wrong. And then, you know, it'll be taken care of. But so, you know, if you don't agree with my decisions, then I'm sorry to see you go, but you got to do what you got to do, you know? It's entertainment until you start thinking it's real. Yeah, but see, that's the younger crowd. Hey, Carla. Good morning, sweetie. See, like all of us, we would watch something and say, okay, and then we start questioning everything to determine whether it's entertainment or if it's real. Where you get the younger groups, they're just staring at a screen, and if they see it, oh, that was real. Oh, that was so wild. Because they don't know how to pick it apart and determine whether they're being played for or not. You know, it's an entertainment thing. It's money. These guys are making mad money. Or the sponsors send them free stuff. You know, I see the stuff that some of these people get. I'm thinking, damn, I need to get some sponsors like this so I get to get some free stuff. Not going to happen, but you know, it is what it is. Oh, well, for one, I thank you for your choices. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Now, I always try to be fair, you know, and I look at it this, you know what, Christ's sakes, man, you know, I'm going to be almost 60 years old. What the frick do I need to lie for? It's just, it's a waste of time. And I've never been a liar. I might have skirted around an issue, you know, to protect people's feelings. But yeah, normally, and, you know, I'm just dead honest with everybody. If you ask me my opinion, I'm going to say, well, do you really want to know my opinion? Or, you know, if you're looking for me to blow smoke up your ass, that's not going to happen because I don't do that. Truth is hard. You know, life's hard. And it's just better to deal with it. Laura, it's not just the younger crowd. Look at Really Haunted. And it's not younger people. They believe in them. Yeah, no, you're right, Cree. It's Really Haunted. What a hot mess. But you know what? People have a right to believe in what they want to believe in. So, you know, it is what it is. Even though that we might disagree, that's our opinion, our belief. They have the same thing. That, you know, well, no, you don't know. Well, okay, all right, that's fine. I'm not going to sit and argue with people and, you know, and show my credentials. I mean, come on. I appreciate, you know, the people that do enjoy what I do and your support. And you'll have no idea how much. Because when I decided to start doing this full-time online, I didn't think it would go anywhere. And my husband keeps throwing it in my face. See, I know you were right. It did go, and it's great. And yes, I would like it to grow. I like it the way it is now because it's more contained, where I can entertain and talk with everybody individually, like I do now. But when a channel gets larger and larger, that gets harder. You're gonna miss some stuff, and it's just the way that works. What's Carla up to today? Running around like a chicken with her head cut off? It was really interesting when Josh went to Chernobyl. Yeah, it was really cool. I also watched Adam Mark. Everybody hates this guy's guts. He was an urban explorer, started off that way, and then he brings in the paranormal every now and then. And everybody says that he is staging his stuff. I don't care. I am enjoying when he goes into these old homes. And I think he was also in Chernobyl. The history of these places and the beautiful places that he goes to. And it just breaks my heart to see all of this stuff just being consumed by Mother Nature. And none of it can be saved. But I enjoy the places that he goes to. Nobody says that we've got to believe in if he's actually doing paranormal or not. Next video is Ghost Town and a debunk. Oh, looking forward to that. I'm trying to think of a guilty pleasure. Fake ghost hunters I watch, and nothing is coming to mind. I don't watch them. I've been watching Jesse Michaels and Danny Jones podcasts. And see, that's another thing. A lot of people, skeptics and stuff, admit, well, I don't watch the paranormal. Until, somebody throws it at him, I'll watch this, and what do you think? So there again, yeah. Leanne, that's what friends are for. You know me for keeping my opinion to myself. I've had sponsorships. It's really nice. Yeah, see, you're lucky. I would love to have a sponsorship, but well, maybe it's not in the cards. That's okay. I'm never going to get rich doing YouTube. I'm never going to be rich. I've known that for a long time. Horror makeup, and I've had some camping, hiking companies. Oh, good for you, Carla. Nice. Yeah, that is awesome. That was after running the Face of Horror camping companies and reviewing campsites. Oh, cool. I agree with that. I believe what you want. Just don't get pissed and attack me because I don't agree when we can agree to disagree. Unfortunately, Cree, a lot of people don't do that. And I know I'm a little behind, guys. That's just not, Cree, you just have to accept that's not the way it works. And I know it really puts a knot in your shorts, but people are going to attack you because of your opinions, because their opinion is the only right one. Those, you just have to ignore those people. They're just talking out of their asses. You do what you got to do, and then it just move along. Don't let anybody, make you not want to join in on something. You just ignore those people. Product reviews. Yeah, I'd like to do product reviews. I do not find fake paranormal entertaining. See, there Julie says she doesn't find it entertaining. You don't like it when they're going screaming down the hallway, demon, or somebody says they got hit with a rock, or oh, I got scratched. That's a good one. I got scratched. And I know I'm not the only one that always, when they say that somebody's throwing stones, that you wish that they'd get nailed between the eyes. Come on, raise your hands. I say, oh, come on, just once. Because you damn well know they'd shit themselves and run out the door. And if it actually really happened to them. Yeah, Facebook's a big pain in the cheeks too. But sometimes you do just need to chat, Roger. Just let it all out. I just ran the kids to work and the others the summer program. That's right. Get them all out. Throw them all out, Carla, and then you get the whole day. I know some people don't believe in orbs, but my grandma's funeral, there was no mist or bugs or anything. And it at exactly where her height was, the family photo, there was an orb. See, I know I believe that there is orb activity. They look different. The movement of orbs are different when they're legit. And yeah, there's a lot of people, oh, it's dust, it's bugs, it's rain, it's this, it's that. There's a difference. I do believe there's a difference. But the majority of the time, it's either sunspots, bugs, dust. Those you really gotta just really look into. Yeah, I enjoy Josh. That's what it's about. You got to enjoy the programming. That's why the show's still on because people are enjoying the content. Who did she run into? Who did you run into, Carla? I missed that. Shit. Who did you run into online? Retype it so I don't have to scroll back up. My grandma said, "Why don't they save those four people?" Oh, really haunted. Oh man. Oh, Facebook is back. They must have fixed it. Watching fake paranormal is similar to watching a child play pretend, only without all of the charm and cuteness. Yeah. See, a lot of people, they're just not interested. Well, there's a couple I enjoy. I enjoy when they do the urban explorers. Um, because you're looking at history in a lot of those old houses. And it's amazing. I usually don't pay attention to the paranormal part of it. I pay attention to the explorer, and I look at the architecture and the details of the home and the furnishings that are left behind to rot. It's just breaks the heart, especially for somebody who I love antiques and you're looking like, oh my god, it's sitting there getting all moldy and it's gonna rot and it's just a shame. What a shame. And I've always said, well, not for nothing. Why leave that stuff there? If the place has been abandoned by family or there is no family left, have the town that they live in go and clean it out. Donate the furniture to people who don't have any furniture, or sell it so that it goes into a fund for the community or something. No, they just let it rot and that's it. Always have Pillow Windows sponsor you and get some new insulated window. Oh. And a lot of people have their own experiences. You can't prove them. There's no way to prove a personal experience. So I think that's why a lot of people keep them to themselves because they don't want people to, pick it apart or ridicule them for what they're believing. That's why I would say, I send just to share your stories and stuff with me, and I'll put them in there, and it's put under anonymous, so nobody knows it's you. But you want to share that. It's people you'll be amazed at the reaction. People really do enjoy hearing about, everybody's personal experiences. I play pretend all the time. I think it's cute and amusing. I used to pretend I was doing a cooking show. And there's also other times where I used to play pretend and but I ain't telling you where that was. Leanne, there is time and a place for pretend play. Yes, there is. Roger broke Facebook. Oh no. Oh no. Blame it on Roger. It's Roger's fault. Or if you want, you guys usually just blame Beardo. He gets the blame for everything. Lionheart, they say the 75% of imaginary friends are spirit. You know what? You could be right. You could be right. Actually, I saw a video not too long ago. Was woman took her baby to the cemetery. Apparently, I think it was the father that passed away. So they were there visiting his resting place, and the baby was having a conversation and waving. And the mother was like, "Who are you talking to?" You know, and she's looking around. She don't see anything, but the baby was just having a full blown, you know, jibber jabber with nobody that was there, and then waving, and it was amazing. I've had feather ones, golf ball ones, baseball ones, solid white and colored ones. Yes, that's where you analyze those, the different shapes, colors. Pull an actual Catholic priest that were exorcists that were interviewed by. Oh, damn! Jumped on me. Demon physical possessions are rare. Yes, they are. Yep. That haunted it used to play peekaboo with us. Freaked me out. Oh, cool. I just watched a movie about imaginary friends called If. It really was fun and good. See, you never know. You never know. People make fun of me, but I feel comfortable with you, Laura, and chat. That's good, Betty. All of your experiences are welcomed here. Nobody makes fun of anything. No judgment. If this stuff makes you feel happy, then you continue. Oh, got Pomp all riled up, saying, "Who's making fun of Betty? He's going to take care of it." And in the 70s, when I was a little kid, we went to this Our Lady of Fatima statue. Oh, and my cousin took Polaroid pictures, and we could see. Oh, and I can't even read. Good Lord. And as we were there, we could see Jesus' face imprint on the pictures. Wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't have an imaginary friend, but I had a crazy lady living in my closet. Why was she crazy? What did she do? Would she throw stuff at you? Leanne laying in bed and she gets hit in the head with a stuffed animal. Here, take this. Whap. That's one thing I never had. I never had an imaginary friend. Well, the thing is, we have a big family, so I had lots of cousins and all of that. So I was always either playing with the cousins, and then I have a sister. So yeah, there was. If I was an only child, I probably would have had an imaginary friend. I mean, there's a lot of places where I think people would wish that Kenny would go and visit, but again, you got to figure expense, scheduling. It would be great if he went there and took some photographs, but And also, I don't know if where he works has ever investigated the stories behind the Fatima story. So my kitty just scared the you know what out of me. That's because you were focusing on what we were talking about, and it spooked you. Leave it to a cat. I don't know that she was crazy, but she looked crazy to a kid me. She had wild eyes, wild hair, and she was a skinny thing. Ah, so you had the hag living in your closet. That's freaky. Oh no, Sage, your sister would take you out in the woods and ditch you. That's just so wrong. She traumatized you. Now that you're older, did you get her back? Oh my God. I used to harass my sister when she was because I did a lot of babysitting, so had to have some kind of fun. I probably traumatized her. Did I feel like the Ouija brothers? They said it was cool, but we can't prove it for sure. If it was normal, but it's entertaining because you can hear what they are hearing too. I like the Ouija brothers, and a lot of people have issues with them. I think they do a good job. Whether you believe it's true or not is up to you. I mean, it's a personal choice. I've never seen anything that would say that they were, you know, faking anything or putting anybody on. I tell my daughter was 6, she always tells us scary stuff, and I used to tell her, "Don't be afraid. You're the scariest thing in the house." Oh, she's imaginary or spiritual. As an adult, she apologized, and remarkably, we are close now. Oh, well, that's good. We all have our moments, Pop. Don't worry about it. Fake paranormal investigators are like atoms. They make up everything. Yeah, that's entertainment. That's why I call them entertainment channels. I don't use the F word. This way, nobody, gets their joint out of whack. You know what I mean? It's just they take offense. So yeah, I don't. I say entertainment, and they probably don't like that either. But it's just a nice way of saying you're full of shit. But it's a business for them. They're raking in the money. That's how they make their living. So hey, I get it. And if people are willing to support them and they roll in the bucks, then hey, good for them. Ouija Brothers, Ghost on Trent, best paranormal teams in the UK. Yeah, I love the Ouija Brothers. And they're always so busy, so I can never get them on the show. I wish I could, because I'd love to ask them some questions. I don't know. I'll have to reach out again and see if I can finagle something. Same thing with the Ghost on Trent. It's hard because UK. I adjust the hours so it's easier for them. So I always say that we'll go on earlier if they're willing. But it is what it is. And maybe they don't like me and they say, "Oh, I ain't going on that show. It sucks." So it could be that too. Yeah, well, okay. I mean, I call them how I see them. If they don't want to be known as fake, don't fake. Yeah, yeah, Jimmy. Well, you know me. I just try to be nice. I try to be nice. The Ghost Quad are a great YouTube. I've never heard of them. So I would love to get more people across the globe because everybody does it different, and had different experiences. So I love it when they share their stories and how they do their thing. And I've enjoyed everybody I've had on my program. I just like the other night with John and the Bigfoot thing. It's amazing what we don't know and what they're discovering. And it's just, I'm waiting for the day where they actually say, yep, there's a Bigfoot. So, because my husband goes, oh, come on. I go, no, you got to leave the door open. You don't know. We don't know. And that's what these people are doing. They're trying to find out. My daughter, when she was like 3, was waving and saying, what are all those kids doing here? Is it a picnic? And that was where the babies section. Oh, wow. So she was seeing all the babies. Isn't that amazing? Now, see right there, 3. How the kid's not going to lie about that? Why would they do? And they wouldn't know to make up that story in a cemetery. Come on. So what are you telling me? That they're not seeing that? Come on. I like seeing Paul from Ghost on Trent and Steve from Ouija Brothers investigate together. I'll have to check out Ghost Squad. I didn't know that they were there. What's crazy is the house like cousin lived in was scary, haunted. I didn't believe him, but when I was there in the middle of the night, it sounded like a mountain lion within the house. Oh, yikes. Yikes. Oh, thanks for sharing that, Leanne. Yeah, Ghost Squad. Check that out. It's the first time I'm hearing that. My list keeps getting bigger and bigger. And of course, amongst all this shit I got written down, I'll be looking at it like, what the hell is that? So maybe some people say banshees. Maybe it's some kind of like scary ghost. Things sound like a mount. Look, and a person screams. What's funny is I was a kid. I would hide under the bed and would put my pillow to make it like it was a bed, and then I would grab my dad's ankles when he would wake up. Oh, geez, talk about me scaring the crap out of your father. My father used to do this stuff to me all the time. Walking somewhere, and all of a sudden you get grabbed by the ankles, and then he'd laugh. You're screaming, he's laughing. And he did that stuff in the water too. My father swims like a shark. So every time we were at camp, he would swim underwater, and the next thing you know, you're getting pulled underwater. And he's laughing. I know community members who believe they have seen and heard Bigfoot, but they won't say because they feel like they would be ridiculed. They probably would. But you know what? You believe what you believe, and whether other people believe it, that's their problem. And never be afraid to to speak your truth. The thing I found out interesting is when we were talking with John and my friend, when they had their experience a couple of years ago, they were saying that the ones in Florida, known as skunk apes, have a stripe on them from the chin down the chest. Well, the experience that my friend and his daughter had, the one that she spotted, brown fur, it was about 8 foot, and it had the stripe going down the front of it. So I found that interesting. I'm like, what is it? One migrating from Florida up to the Adirondacks? I don't know. So see, very interesting though. Oh, Leanne watches Quad. Okay. Laura, I could speak to Ian and Andy at Ghost Quad if you probably get them for. Oh, that would be great. Yeah, they would be interested. So now, yeah, I got pressure. Now I got to watch them to see who they are and what they're about. Yeah, but if they'd be interested, that would be cool. Thank you, Pomp. The hanger clothes that sounded like movie Mama. So I'm saying, see, these are stories and stuff that everybody needs to. You got to share them. And I always tell everybody, I'll put anonymous. You don't have to have your name. Because then I hear afterwards, oh, the stories were great. I loved reading them. And, So people really enjoy it when everybody shares. I'm like, thanks, Pomp. Yeah, that'll be great. We'll have to see what we can set up. Because I have nothing set for July yet. I'm behind, a bad girl. I'm behind. I usually have the month filled up, so I gotta get my buttons and get my stuff together here. I'm skeptical about Bigfoot, but not enough. Yeah, there. It's really hard. It really is. But it's like any other creature. For my husband and I were actually having this discussion last night about Bigfoot and Loch Ness. I don't think Loch Ness is a dinosaur. I think it's actually either a large eel or a giant snake, and people are just seeing the head part. And that's a possibility. What the hell is we doing? We're talking about same thing with Bigfoot. I said, how do we know? We don't know. Oh, and then recently, just not too, it hasn't been that long, we're getting stories and photos and news reports about how whales are showing up on beaches with giant holes in them, bite marks. So the only thing that would be big enough that would be able to take a big chunk out of a whale at one time would be the Megalodon shark, which of course is presumably extinct. Because, and my husband goes, there's no way that one could be alive because it would eat everything in the ocean. And I told myself, well, maybe it's not the Megalodon. It could be a descendant of that shark that was pretty big. I mean, because why would they just show up with big bite marks out of them? It's not like, they're swimming along and then the rib cage area and all that just blows out, spontaneously. Something's biting them and eating them. And whatever it is, it's huge. And then, of course, there was another news story about they were tracking this great white shark. I forgot how my husband said it was huge. And, they had the transponder signal. And then one day it just disappeared. All right. Something ate that huge shark whole, apparently, because what happened? So we don't know what's down in those waters. I followed them from the first day, bless them, and even changed start times to accommodate my work schedule. Oh, ow, ow, ow. Sorry, having pain. There's a big conger eel in Loch Ness. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that's what somebody said. I mean, I could be totally wrong. That's just all speculation. I don't think it's a dinosaur creature. I think it's either a big snake or an eel, and it travels through. I don't like Ghost on Trent and the Ouija. Oh, really? You don't? Just not your thing. That's okay. There are some popular channels out there that everybody just loves and won't miss. And I'm so. I'm not gonna say who they are, but I'll pop in, say my hellos, and show my support, and then I leave because it's just I tend to find them annoying. It might be interesting for a ghost hunter or a debunker to get a list of all the places that the Catholic Church has investigated because the church goes to try to debunk all the claims. Yeah, that's a good idea. Especially if it's supposed to be anything that's demonic, they have to. And they go there, they send an investigator to check to see if it's BS or if they need to step in. So that's part of their procedure. What's scarier, a dinosaur creature or a snake that big? I know. I would worry more about the snake than the dinosaur. I think the one Catholic exorcist from New York, but he might be in Colombia now. But you might be able to interview him. He loves going. Oh, I was going to have somebody on from the clergy, and then I heard some bad reports, so I said, okay, yeah, I don't think I'll have that person on. When I get reports that they're not legit and not legitimately connected to the church, that's a red flag for me. So I didn't end up having the person on, but it's a very popular person in some of the paranormal circles. I always try to make sure that when I have a guest on, that they're the real deal, because then I feel bad when you find out, which happened once. I did have a group on one of my earlier interviews. I had them on, great team, great conversation. Supposedly they had some great encounters, and then I found out down the road that they staged stuff, and I was upset. Because here I'm promoting somebody and I find out that they're not what they say they are. And I didn't appreciate that. So I try to be as careful as possible. Nessie could be a multiple things. Seen at different times, but made into a whole because of legends surrounding it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think plausible. It's probably a big eel or snake. And then, of course, rumor and story time takes over. I just read an article. Scientists have found a whale graveyard 20,000 feet deep. It's 750 miles long and dates back to 5 million years. They found 17 new species living on the carcass. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't know what's down in the water. I wouldn't go down there. Stay away from it. I mean, I've seen some of the new stuff that they've been finding because we can go further down. There's some scary fish. You're swimming along and something rips a chunk out of your ass. I mean, they have teeth that are horrendous. I'll stay right away from that. What is Bigfoot? What is Bigfoot is really some wrong turn kind of family that's really creepy, but everything around area in the world has somewhere cannibal people hiding in the woods. I'm not thinking, because I think everybody has an idea of what it might be. It could be, I mean, I'm not thinking human. I'm thinking maybe some kind of a more advanced form of bear-like creature. I mean, this maybe. And like what John was saying, it could have been, maybe it is a form of early man that hasn't progressed, but has survived because it's smart. It could be that as well. We don't know. They just call it Bigfoot because of the footprint size. Is it a hoax? Who knows? But there's just so many, and it's all over the world. So, I mean, why do people come up with the same type of thing, same kind of experiences? I mean, I just find it hard to believe that there's not somebody seeing something. And we just got to just keep going until we obviously they're smarter than us because they live in the woods. So I mean, it's easy to avoid human contact for the majority, but I mean, once in a while you're going to have that one occasion where you're going to get caught out there. That great white we were talking about had the sensor, and they tracked it, and it went down to extreme depths, and the temp rose to high levels. Yeah, I don't know. I told my husband, I said, how do you know what something swallowed it and kept going? I don't know. We don't know what's down there. And I really don't want to find out, to be honest. They found the sensor washed up on the beach. I don't know. I didn't follow the story. So who knows? Something happened to it. And my daughter, when she was 3 years old, used to name family members and pictures and tell us about them and say, I like his name. And then she would say to mom, don't you see his eyes? My husband did that when he was little. He would describe seeing a family member, and my mother-in-law goes, well, how can you, the person passed away before you were born. And then she would bring out old pictures and my husband would point them out. And they would freak out my mother-in-law. Pointing questions to be like, oh, did you see that in a show? And she'd say, no, don't you see his eyes? And my mom was like, come get your kid. Your kid's freaking me out. Get her out of here. That's funny. I've seen photos of that. It's a health condition. It doesn't mean they're werewolves. There has been an octopus found the site. Yeah. The giant squid and stuff. I mean, it exists. That's been proven. So who's to say? Someday somebody might bag a Bigfoot. What if the Bigfoot played banjo and makes moonshine? Yeah, that's right. Maybe it does make moonshine. Heritism, unusual hair growth. Yeah. See, we don't know. And obviously, if they've lived in the wooded areas of the planet for generations, they're going to be smarter than us. They're going to know how to avoid human contact. The question I ask is, at what point do the viewers of some of these channels get held accountable? You are shown the third person throwing a bottle. You are shown the string being used yet. Oh, question. You know what? It's just not going to happen, Cree. I totally understand, but you've got the diehards that are going to, no matter what is said or done, they're not going to change their opinion. And I think it gets to be where some of the skeptics and the debunkers, to figure, okay, we've already done that. It's over with. I'm not going to rehash it. Instead of pointing things out in detail, which I wish they would go back to, because they used to do that, point things out in detail. Shape still does that. He's pretty much stayed true to his original format. And so, I love what he does. And if he's wrong, then he admits he's wrong, which is also awesome. Too tall to be feral people, perhaps. Yeah, like I said, because the majority of them that see him are usually they're over 8 foot or bigger, in that range. The one that my friend and his daughter, or she saw, the father didn't see it, the girl saw it, and she said it was about 8 foot tall, and it was just watching them. And of course, he's seen her shit her pants and ran away. But Beardo in a monkey suit, yeah. No wonder why Beardo's so tired. Man, is he busy. I think they did eventually recover the shark sensor. Oh, okay. I mean, in my opinion, we have to look at people watching Hope Paranormal, and even those like Dolly couldn't do what they do without people watching. Well, yeah, they draw that attention. People love that stuff, Cree. And they don't think that those people putting out that content are harmful. Like the Dolly woman, she's nothing but a grifter. She is in it to suck money out of people who are in grief, and she should be ashamed of herself. But that's how she's supporting herself. And no make a difference, no matter how much you say it or do, people are going to believe what they believe. And you just have to, it's their problem. I have a friend that's that way. I have a friend that believes that this woman in the Dominican Republic is protecting her soul from demons. And she sends this woman thousands of dollars. And I have tried to talk her out of it and told her that the woman was ripping her off. And I've even tried, psychologist ways of like reverse psychology, all this stuff. And it would work for a little bit, and then she'd fall right back into it. And you know what? I told her, I said, well, I don't want to hear you complain that you can't pay your bills because you're the idiot that is sending money to this fraud. And in response, she'll tell my husband, well, Laura just doesn't understand. No, I understand that you're an idiot. I had it with her. I says, we're still friends, but when it comes to that, I just totally don't even pay attention. I said, because you put yourself in that situation. And I said, that woman's not doing anything for you but ripping you off. I said, if you want to give your money away, give it to me. I'll throw a chicken in a pot and throw some shit all over it, do a mumbo jumbo over it, and there you go. You're protected. I mean, come on, really? Some elusive species, but we don't know. We never heard or thought of. What is this? Oh, extinct. But they're good at hiding, and that's how they survive. That's right. That's right. Maybe a type of bear, ape or bear. That's what I'm saying. Maybe some kind of hybrid. That would make sense. The fandoms are the problem. They become their own entity regardless of the channel. Even if the channel says it's entertainment, the fandom says it's real. Yeah, that's right, Roger. That's right. And there are those hunters that took the sound recording of what they were hiding in their lodge because they were so scared. And who could hear the howls and the ape-like sounds, and they recorded. It's pretty cool. 60% of the oceans have not even been explored yet. Exactly. We don't know what's there. So everything that the human scientists believe that is extinct, a lot of them probably aren't. We just haven't found one. Well, just like John was saying the other night on the Bigfoot show, that they discovered a monkey. One of the world's smallest monkey has been discovered that they thought was extinct, and they found one. What did he say? It was Colombia? You know how vast the forests are in these places? You don't know where these creatures are hanging out. And people don't go there because you end up on the menu when you go in the forest like that. Oh, Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, you're killing me. Banjo music. No, run. I know that's a running joke with us. Every time you go somewhere we don't know, and I say, if you start hearing banjos, you turn this vehicle around and step on it. We're out of here. More people have been to the moon than the deepest parts of the ocean. Yeah, because we can't reach the deepest parts of the ocean. We can make it to the moon, but you can't build something to make it to the deepest parts to the bottom. And God knows what we'll find down there. I like Shape. People say he's boring and dull, but I think he's hilarious. He's got that dry humor. He's hilarious. So I don't know how they could find him boring. He cracks me up. And of course, he doesn't do interview programs because I've asked him a few times, and I know he's shy in that resolve. So that's okay. Maybe someday I'll get him on. There's types of catfish that live in the ocean that got real big, and those things are scary. Yeah, they are. Catfish get big, and they eat everything. Yep, sturgeon too. Yep. So you just don't know what the hell's down there. We'll just let them have their space. The giant squid, that's where the Kraken myth comes from. Yeah, the giant squid exists. That's what I'm saying. Because for centuries, oh, no such thing. But yeah, until one showed up on the beach one day, and they're like, "What the hell is this?" So they're there. I'll do it for cheaper, Laura. I know, Leanne. I'm telling you, my friend, and I even went to the point where because my friend knows that I'm, I'm an empath. I feel emotion intensely from everybody. That's why I don't like large crowds, because it's overwhelming for me. And I do have premonition dreams. It doesn't happen all the time, but I do have them. So I figured, this is what I'll do. Now, her mother passed away when she was a young girl. And she always, I always pray for my mother to help me and be with me and guide me. So what Miss Laura did was said, oh, your mother visited me in a dream because she said she couldn't get through to you because you weren't listening. She was concerned because you were sending money to this woman who is not a good woman. The woman and this girl's a very, strict Catholic beliefs, or Christian beliefs, I should say. And I put in there to saying that, she's, the woman is working for the devil. You need to stop sending her money. And that worked for a few months, because she said, oh, well, if my mother came to you, because she knows that you love me and you're trying to help me, then I should listen. It worked for a while, because I figured, finally, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, But like I said, it didn't last for very long. Who turned Houdini onto psychics? Yeah. I believe that people do have special gifts. They do. But I'm with them when they say, you get psychics or mediums. Oh, well, they're giving me, it's a name that starts with B. Why are they playing a letter game? If you're actually being contacted by spirit, wouldn't they say, hey, Bob wants you to know this? I mean, why is there a game behind it? That's where I'm more scared of any natural things than the elude being caught and knows to hide dead. It's proof for hundreds of years. It's scary. Yep. That's it. Yeah, tell Leanne she can't do that. She don't want to sell herself out. But like I said, that her superstitious beliefs are so strong that, like I said, it only worked for a couple of months, the mother story. And then she was right back at it. So I said, well, I wash my hands of it. I can't change her train of thought. And it is what it is. I'm going to scroll through. Oh, crap. We are like way past the 2-hour mark, and it's getting really hot in here, guys. So I'm sorry if I missed some of your comments. We need bigger boats. I think I was around it. Distraction. Why would your mother go to a psychic to give you a message and not just to you? Exactly. Exercise the demons. Come out. I agree, Jimmy. They're getting really close to the truth. Governments can't be having that. Yeah. So there's always, there's always a scam somewhere, guys. Just, again, use your common sense. We all have it. And I mean, I've told you before, I've talked to a couple of people who claim to be psychic. And I wait for, if you're truly going to contact somebody in my family, I have one piece of information that nobody knows except for my husband and I. And if they come out with that, then I'll believe they're real. But until then, that. And emergency. Oh, I hope it wasn't too serious, Julie. Back in time to say goodbye. Yeah, it's time to wrap it up, because it's getting really hot in here and the fans aren't doing it. I got to go back to where the air conditioning is and then go find something to eat. And no, not everyone has come. No, they don't, Jimmy. That's the bitch of it. But I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me this Friday morning. I'll see you guys somewhere out there in Chatland. Have a great weekend. Try to be cool. Stay cool. Don't overdo. The extent of my energy today will be ice packs and relaxing. And and that's about it until the temperature drops. Common sense is like deodorant. Those that need it won't use it. Amen to that, Sage. Oh my God. Amen to that. So woof. That just leaves a really bad smell, doesn't it? But everybody keep cool. Julie, be like me, just sit on some ice packs. Anything is better than what we're dealing with. Excuse me, but you guys all have a great day. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Sunday. We'll do a little miniature stuff on Sunday, and of course, whatever else we get into. If I get an itchy finger, maybe I'll do a surprise live. Who knows? And but until then, I thank all of my mods. You guys are the bomb. Thank you everybody for your support. It really means a great deal to me. And hopefully we will continue to have a good time. That's really what counts. Until then, everybody have a great, great day and a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you all soon.